Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brother T, Freemason cigar enthusiast with VCR, and we got the tapes rolling on another cigar review video for you folks. Today, we're smoking the Barba Amarilla by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Initial impressions, I'm excited. Why? Well, it's a de novo retailer-specific release, and when it came out at 5 p.m. on a Friday, it actually crashed the website. So it had some market momentum, which you love to see, but it also now sets my expectations pretty high. There was, obviously, a lot of folks excited to get their grubby little paws on the cigar, and I'm excited that I was one. Now, jumping on into it by way of initial impressions, it has a firm pack. By way of wrapper colorations, it's chocolate brown and cinnamon. For me, my eyes, this lighting. Okay, it has tight seams, minimal veins, a spiral colita, and of course it has its band on the foot. We're going to have to remove this band or undress this guy before we smoke it, and so we'll talk about that band here a little bit, albeit but briefly. It has a very high contrast color palette. It's primarily yellow, red, black. It has a little bit of a snake head's emblem there, or iconography, and for those that are familiar with Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, these bands, ribbon-based, they're pretty commonplace on the MDS lineup. Okay, or their limited releases. At any rate, for me, I prefer the paper iterations. That's just a personal preference, not a criticism, a preference. Now, jumping into it, pretty light aroma. There's some cocoa there, sweet tobacco. There's not a barnyard as much as I would say like a men's restroom. There's a urea note there. It's not an ammonia-based odor, but it does smell a little bit like urea. Again, not quite a barnyard. It's very rich, though, in terms of how it smells. Kind of intoxicating, really, for me. Well worth the time in taking in that odor or living through that experience. We're going to cut in light. All right. Initial impressions? It's fantastic. It's bold. Out of the gate, there's an element of breadiness there. There's earth, at times even almost a bittered earth. There's black pepper. There is, for me, on the retrohale, what could only be perhaps described as a little bit of chalkiness. The smoke, by way of texture, it's fantastic. It's oily in terms of how it coats or how it feels on the palate. So far, it's starting off fantastic. I guess I'd expect nothing less from something that breaks the internet. We'll see how it comes together. All right, everybody. We're getting to about that halfway point. And the cigar is fantastic. By way of tasting notes, what we're getting so far, we have a wood to a sawdust. There's an earth to an earthy umami. I gotta apologize for that beeping. It's my neighbors, or what I refer to as jackasses. There's an umami there. There's a bread component. There's still a chalkiness there. There's tobacco. There's cream that borders on a custard. There's a black pepper element, as well as a red pepper chili flake. And at times, there is a building back of throat scratch. All right, everybody, getting down to the last third, and I want to take the opportunity just to jump through the blend real quick. It uses a sun-grown Habano Criollo out of Nicaragua, and then it uses a Nicaraguan binder, and it is Jalapa. And then outside of that, and I'll just take a quick peek here at my notes, the filler uses Nicaraguan Viso, Dominican Hybrid Lajero, and then U.S. Connecticut River Valley Broadleaf Lajero. There we go. Per the Small Batch website, go check it out if you're interested. Outside of that, we can jump into tasting notes that we're getting so far. There's earth, coffee bean. There is still a cream or custard. There's bits of leather. There's certainly some black pepper still. There's a chalk component. But on the retrohale, you can tease out a little bit of cookie dough. That's right, I'm going to say it. I'd love for those folks that are smoking this to let me know if they've experienced the same. I don't know if it's because of some of the creaminess, some of the cocoa component, mixed with an albeit maybe doughy or bready component. But for whatever reason, it's creating that synergy, or it all culminates in what feels like a cookie dough note for me and my mileage. So very intrigued, certainly de novo. I haven't ran across that in any other cigar that I've smoked, so I don't know if that's a testament to the blend. Likely so. So please comment below if you've smoked one and if you felt the same way. I would love to know. Jumping into the cigar wrap-up. Construction? Fantastic. Ash held on in about a third increments. That's right. Now, in terms of burn, it's been consistent, it's been sharp. Right now I might be gaining a little bit on one side versus the other, but it has been self-correcting. That's been my mileage, at least for this cigar so far. By way of the draw, it's thick, it's dense, it's oily. It even makes your lips oily as well. In terms of drying to the palate or not, it is. It's on the side of drying. It also could be because it's over 100 degrees out today here in the great state of South Dakota, and that could be affecting it as well. So we will throw that variable out there for the audience to consider. Strength, body, medium plus to full. Strength, certainly so. In terms of sweet or savory, it's more savory than sweet. My name's Brother T, Freemason cigar enthusiast, and today we smoke the Barba Amarilla by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. And as always, smoke 'em if you got 'em.